2018 has been a big year for video games so far, but perhaps the most groundbreaking title to hit our consoles this year is the latest installment of God of War, simply titled God of War. Released on April 20th, 2018, the game is the 8th in the franchise, which has been previously praised and criticized by fans and critics alike. Pros? Its world has been diverse and immersive. Cons? Well, Kratos, its protagonist, has been called two-dimensional, with his goal for vengeance becoming well-worn as the series progressed. But thanks to this latest title, the latter thought has been thrown out the window, as players got a revitalized version with this new game, making Kratos into the complex protagonist we always knew he could be. Now diving into Norse mythology instead of Greek, considering Kratos pretty much killed all of the gods from that lore, God of War explores Kratos' journey with his young son, as they fulfill a promise to his now deceased wife, and his son Atreus' mother, spreading her ashes at the highest peak of the Nine Realms. A new take on the hack-and-slash genre, this title incorporated more RPG elements, and was praised for not only its narrative, but its graphics, art direction, characters, and combat system. But its ending left players wondering what will happen next. Warning time. There's a whole lot of spoilers from here on out. If you haven't already played the game, we highly suggest you do that before watching this video. So, bit of a recap for everybody. We find out that Baldur, the aggressive god who cannot die and attacked Kratos at the start of the game, is actually the son of the Witch of the Woods, who is Freya. She is the one who set the spell on Baldur. Kratos gives him an opportunity to retreat, but instead he tries to strangle Freya, causing Kratos to kill him. Freya swears revenge on Kratos and taunts him about the thing that he's been hiding from his son, his true god nature. Then Freya leaves with Baldur's corpse. We then find out that Faye, Kratos' wife and Atreus' mother, was a giant who decided to stay behind in Midgard, which means that Atreus not only has a god lineage, but that he's a hybrid of a god, mortal, and giant. They also learn that Baldur was after Faye this whole time, and that Faye named Atreus Loki initially. This was all depicted on a temple mural, implying that this is why Faye wanted them to spread her ashes up there. The end of the game also reveals that Ragnarok is soon to come, and there's even a secret ending that depicts Kratos and Atreus returning home, with Atreus having a vision that Thor will soon confront them. So, with all that in mind, what's next for God of War? Well, there's a number of important points that could further the story. For starters, Atreus is Loki. Loki is the god of mischief, something those who know a thing or two about Norse mythology would recognize, or those who have watched a Marvel movie really. I mean, they kind of change things up, but the gist is kind of the same. According to the mythology, Loki is a cunning trickster who has the ability to change his sex and his shape at will. His father was a giant, and Loki is sometimes represented as a companion to the gods, and also an enemy. Loki is responsible for the death of Baldur, which ends his positive relationship with the Norse gods. So it's without a doubt that this will somehow play into the next God of War game. The God of War series does take creative liberties, so it wouldn't be surprising if there's some sort of play on the god's dislike of Loki, or other parts of the story. Atreus' heritage as a giant should also prove interesting. We got a glimpse of what Odin and his war with the giants entailed, while atop the mountain in Jotunheim, we saw a slew of giant corpses. The giants are a threat to the gods, and while many speculate we'll dive deeper into the lore behind this war, it's important to remember that it's very likely some giants may have escaped, just like Faye did. Plus, one descendant of the giants is very much alive, in the form of Atreus. Another theory has emerged that the relationship between Loki and his son, Jormungandr, aka the World Serpent, will come into play. In Norse mythology, the World Serpent is Loki's child. Others have speculated that the subsequent games will set up foundations for Atreus to eventually take on the role of the protagonist in future God of War games, considering Santa Monica Studio has exhibited that they're willing to make big changes to the franchise in order to craft the best story and game possible. Another massive point that will surely be touched on in the next game is Ragnarok. The end of God of War triggered Ragnarok, which is essentially the Norse apocalypse. When Baldur was killed, it signaled a winter that will last for 2 summers, and after, Ragnarok will occur. It wasn't supposed to happen for another 100 years, but the actions of Kratos and Atreus have jump-started it, making it imminent. Perhaps the most intriguing story point that the game itself teased is that Thor is a-comin'. That secret ending that we mentioned depicts Kratos and Atreus falling into a slumber, and they awake years later to find Thor standing outside their home. Baldur was Thor's brother, and in the duration of the game, you also kill both of Thor's sons. So, needless to say, the God of Thunder has got a bone to pick. I guess tearing down that statue of him probably didn't help matters much either. The scene ends with us seeing Mjolnir, Thor's hammer, light up with lightning. So he's definitely not there for a friendly visit. Kotaku has confirmed with director Cory Barlog that the confrontation with Thor won't occur during a DLC, since he's not a big fan of DLCs. Speaking of gods and classic God of War nature, it's likely that we won't get our big battle with Odin until the 3rd game, because hey, let's be honest, that's gonna happen. Now jumping back, God of War 3 featured Kratos finally killing Zeus, so it seems likely that we'll probably get the big final showdown with Odin not in the sequel, but the one after it. And the conflict between the two will likely have some tie to Atreus. What else? Well, another worthwhile point to consider is that Freya is still kicking around, and she isn't the biggest fan of Kratos. When Baldur goes to kill his mother for taking away his ability to feel pain, something he carries a grudge about, Kratos intervenes and snaps his neck. Freya, despite her son's final intentions, is furious, and she vowed revenge. We can surely expect her to appear in the next game and perhaps will somehow give the Norse gods some sort of advantage when it comes to undermining our favorite dad and son duo. In addition to this, the game included symbols from other mythologies. In Tur's vault, there was a wall panel that featured the Egyptian Eye of Horus, the Greek Omega, aka the familiar God of War symbol, the Japanese symbol of Hachiman, and the Celtic Triskelion. While it's already been announced that the sequel will continue exploring the Norse mythology, down the road, Barlog has stated that the universe of the God of War games has a geography that separates the cultural mythologies, so don't be surprised if we see ancient Egypt kicking around. Barlog has also stated that he has more material mapped out for the continuation of the God of War franchise, but without any concrete plans for a slew of additional titles. Still, there's a lot to get excited over. So, what do you guys think? Any theories of your own as to how Kratos and Atreus' stories will pan out? Give us a shout in the comments below and let us know. Now if you dug this video, spread the love, hit that like button, and for all of your gaming news, lists, updates, and highlights, be sure to subscribe to Top 10 Gaming. Thanks for watching, everybody.